Hello and welcome to this week's Maggie Moment. Today I want to chat a little bit about adolescence, particularly in terms of the temperament of your children. So what we do know is that, once again, roosters are far more confident, risk takers, out there kind of people who kind of stretch their boundaries and kind of challenge the world. And our lambs are more sensitive, a little bit more gentle, possibly they're over carers, sometimes not good with change and too much stress. Now, I just need to put right underneath all that adolescence is a really stressful time of life because there are not only physical changes, there are brain changes, there are emotional changes, there are cognitive changes. The whole lot is changing. So in actual fact, nearly all adolescents or teenagers are struggling with a higher degree of stress. So that's before you put temperament into the mix. So some of the things, if you have got a rooster that you're concerned about, remember girl roosters and boy roosters, is that we know that adolescence is a time of risk-taking. Yeah, so you need to be a little bit worried. They will take those risks because they often think they're older than they really are, or they're more confident. And what we do know in terms of how the adolescent mind works is that in actual fact, when they consider a choice, they often exaggerate the positives and reduce the possible negative effects of that choice. So be prepared if you've got a rooster that you are going to have possibly some really poor decisions that might impact their physical well-being a little, or they might do some things or be easily led by older adolescents or young adults. So that's something to be mindful of. But usually we tend to find roosters deal with it in a slightly more stronger way. They'll have their friends and their mates and they have their energy. So once again, there's some pluses and minuses for both temperaments. On the other side, okay, so your lambs, your more sensitive teenagers, not such big risk takers, but if they do risk taking, they do it kind of underhand or in a quiet way, just in case it doesn't work. We also know that lambs can be very easily led by dominant rooster type adolescents because they're biologically wired to hang together and form groups of friendships. So again, you don't tend to have great groups of lambs all coming together necessarily. They're drawn to popular kids sometimes or what looks like fun. And once again, that's a real worry, but they are much more susceptible to the impact of the high levels of stress. So they're much prone to anxiety disorders. They're much prone to wanting to give up because it's all too hard. So again, underneath it all, both of our temperaments need the same things in adolescence. They need significant adult allies who aren't mum and dad. If they can have warm relationships with their parents, they're going to do better. But they also need to know that this journey is a bumpy one. And one day, somewhere in their 20s, the brain will finish its growth. The body will kind of get to finish its growing too. And you will sort of like, the fog will lift and they will become much more adult-like in their choices. So there are different pluses and different minuses with the different temperaments. Remember, we'd love all our kids to sit in the middle of the temperament one, wouldn't we? Where those lambs who are caring and gentle also can access some assertiveness and confidence. But we'd love those roosters who are sometimes too pushy and bossy to be able to recognise how their choices impact others, which means have some empathy. So good luck on the wonderful journey of raising today's adolescents and teens. It is a fabulous ride. Please don't listen to the doomsayers. There will be moments of fabulous joy on that bumpy ride. If that's been helpful for you, please share it or post any other comments of anything helpful. And that's all for me today.